Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to continue looking at for-profit social enterprises, focusing on microfinance providers. This is from Unit 1, Section 1.2 of the new Business Management syllabus, falling under the kind of subheading in the syllabus of for-profit social enterprises. Very, very relevant to the new Paper 3, which is really focused on social enterprise and corporate social responsibility. Let's start with kind of what is microfinance? Microfinance providers are for-profit, hence they're in this section, with a social goal. And that social goal is to provide banking services to low-income individuals who are unable to access or kind of, can't access the products they want from traditional finance providers. It may seem odd to you and I because we're so used to, digital banking and credit cards and loans and things like that. There's actually a large portion of the global population that's unable to access these kind of financial products. They don't even have a bank account. They can't get a loan. They can't get a credit card, nothing like that. So this is the kind of segment of the global population that microfinance serves. Here we touch on that a bit more, right? What are the difficulties, essentially, the social good that microfinance is solving? These people that we discuss, usually from developing countries or low-income backgrounds, have a very hard time accessing finance capital, usually because of the small amount they're requesting. So they may want to set up, a small business, maybe, handcrafted products, or it could be a small store in their village, and the amount they're requesting is quite small. It might be just $1,000 or $500 they need to get started, which to them is, an amount that's out of reach, hence looking for the financing. But it's actually an amount that's so small that a traditional bank is simply not interested in this business. The setup costs for them, the paperwork, administering the loan, means that such a small amount is not worth it. And so they don't offer loans to people in this situation. Another thing is that traditional providers will want some proof of income to provide such a loan. And a lot of these people that we're discussing operate in the informal economy, cash-only economy. They're not, legally and fully employed with a contract and with pay slips. They can't prove their income to the bank, even if it is sufficient to qualify for the loan. Or they may just simply have unstable or seasonal income. This is often the case for like farmers and things like that, where they're really beholden to market forces outside of their control for their income, or just the weather, which can have a big impact and makes them too risky of a proposition for a traditional lender. The social good that the microfinance provider is targeting here is lending for a social impact. They're not lending for a new car. They're not lending for, a new TV or anything like that. They're really assessing loans based on their social impact. So as mentioned already, it could be the establishment of a small business. The social impact in that case being, in an increased level of income for the family in the long term. Often it can be loans for livestock for farmers, which you could count as small business as well, essentially capital goods for a small business, but, it deserves its own category. And they may also give loans for education, like for women's education, for example, help a woman who's not working gain employment and in that way help the family. Or it could be for children who, get one child through university and you can actually change the direction for an entire family. So whenever they're assessing loans, it's more about the social good than it is about the suitability of the customer, which can introduce some ethical concerns, to be honest, because there's a reason a lot of these people can't access finance, and it's because they have a real risk of defaulting. These are people who have a low level of financial literacy and understanding potentially of what they're getting into. And, this is something that microfinance providers, the legitimate ones, really focus on is not just dishing out cash, but educating the receiver on what it means to have a loan and how to use that cash. And they require business plans before they release the funds and things like that, and then they mentor the people through the creation of their small business. They're the good providers do that. There are also a whole bunch of providers who are potentially unethical operating in this space as well. There are some famous microfinance providers. One in particular has essentially crowd-funded microfinance. I'm not going to say the name. I don't want to imply that they're doing the wrong thing themselves, because I think it's a great company. You can search it up. I'm sure you'll find it pretty quickly. But these ones in particular rely on local partners to find the people who are suitable to lend to and for collecting on the debts and things like that. And in this case, because they don't have operations within the country where they're lending, they're relying on these local partners, and there can be varying quality amongst them. So the larger organization itself is very legitimate. However, we can have potentially troublesome local partners. So it is a risk in this structure that even though you're aiming for social good, it might not work out 100% of the time, which is potential concern. In the next video, we'll wrap up this section on for-profit social enterprise with public-private partnerships. Thank you for watching. If you liked, please hit that like button, subscribe if you want more, and check out some more lessons from Unit 1 in the playlist. Thank you.